that's a mental trick. You have to rewire your brain. That's one of the things you have to rewire your brain to do. And the reason your brain needs to be rewired is because anyone who is watching this stream below the age of 30, your brain is already broken. And I'll tell you it's broken. I'll tell you why. Watch your friends when they're on TikTok. How long can they even focus on a video before they have to change? Half a second, a second,
Damn.
maybe half. All of your minds are broken. You can't even focus on anything anymore.
You're right.
You are constantly distracted to the point where you can't even appreciate the good things in your life. You're distracted. Your minds are broken. You need to rewire your mind and resist the slave programming.
How?
They have programmed. I'll tell you how. First thing you have to do is identify it. You have to identify what is happening to you. I use my mind to break the trap. What I do is I allow my enemy to manipulate me on purpose. And then I use my mind to break the trap and punish the perpetrators. I will sit on TikTok for a day and I'll just enjoy TikTok. And by the end of the day, I'll watch myself. How quickly I'm looking to be entertained, how little time I give a video, how fucked up I am. And then I'll blink and I'll cure my fucking brain. You must allow yourself to be manipulated and you must fix it. All of it. You just talked about not appreciating the things you have. Then blink and cure your brain. It's a conscious decision. You're letting other people control your mind.
It's all distraction.
The Matrix is trying to control your mind. They're very good at it. That's what they do to control all of us. You have to break the trap. If you cannot control your own mind, let me make this point because it's extremely important. If you cannot control your own mind, then you are just a feather in the wind of life. Because your own mind is the only thing you can control. You can't control the weather. Right. You can't control other people. You can't even control whether your heart stops beating. You might have a heart attack tomorrow. You can't control anything besides what you think. If you cannot control your own mind, then you go through life with zero control, zero influence. You can't control anything. You're just a feather in the wind, waiting for life to blow you from happy place to sad place to happy place to sad place, completely hoping on the gods to be fortunate to you, because if any genuine discomfort comes your way, you're fucked. It is trained, like everything else in life. It is trained. So if you find yourself not appreciating what you have until it's gone, then you must blink and cure your brain. If you find yourself unable to focus or concentrate on tasks, you must blink and cure your brain. If you find yourself unable to go and dedicate yourself to something you don't want to do, you must blink and cure your brain. Because all of our minds have been under constant assault for years. The way the mind functions, the way people interact, has changed so significantly in the last 10 years you wouldn't believe. If you go to a party today as opposed to a party 10 years ago, they look completely different. People are acting differently. People are on their phones now than ever used to be. Even now, people will go to places only to get an Instagram picture, even if they don't enjoy the place.
Wow.
It's all about pretending they're having fun as opposed to actually having fun. The entire paradigm of society and how we interact has now changed. Every single thing in the world is attempting to influence you. I'll give you another paradigm that people need to understand. I ask people have these beliefs. Doesn't matter what their belief is. Doesn't matter, they believe in something. I say, where did you get that belief from? And they don't know. Well, it's just how it's supposed to be. We're just supposed to wear a mask, whatever it is, right? Where did you get that belief? Who told you that? And does that person have your best interests at heart? Think about it. Think about all the things you truly believe. Think where you learned it, and think if that person actually gives a fuck about you. Because the only thing you should be learning from is personal experience from people who genuinely care about you and love you. Most people are out here believing things and repeating things that were told to them by people who don't even fucking like them, by their enemies. Everyone's mind is fundamentally fucked. All of it. Look at me. I'm a guy who decided to conquer social media. I blinked, I cured my brain, I used basic indefatigability, I used perspicacity, I used compendiousness, I used my mind, and I focused, and I fucking conquered the world in a few short months. It's not difficult, there's just no competition, because everybody's fucking distracted. They're getting distracted by this, distracted by that, watching fucking Netflix, jerking off to Pornhub like fucking jackasses. It's so easy to win if you can control your own mind. But it seems that nobody fucking can. And that's how the people who run the world keep the world running. because they have all the slaves exactly where they need them to be, permanently distracted and semi-depressed, working their asses off in jobs which will never satisfy them and never pay enough money. That's the Matrix.
It's a cycle. It's a cycle. Like it's a
video. Today we're gonna be talking about the cheat code to focus. So if y'all don't know, man, everything I go over on this channel is basically things that I learn, things that I do on a day-to-day basis, things that I test out, things that I experiment. And basically, this is my outlet to tell it to the world, man, for the people who care, you know what I'm saying? Not a lot of people care. Not a lot of people want to know. Not a lot of people want to get better, bro. So shout out to y'all because y'all want to know, y'all want to get better. So this is my cheat code to focus. Before we talk about the cheat code, let's talk about what is focus. Why is focus important? What does focus do for you? You know what I'm saying? So focus is a multiplier. I'm gonna say a lot of shit y'all probably never heard in y'all life. Focus is a multiplier, bro. So when you focused on something, bro, it multiplies. For example, if you're I'm gonna give y'all an example off the top of my head, right? If you are a painter and it's two different painters, and painter number one has more focus than painter number two, but both of them work the same amount of hours, say like 3 hours, painter number one is gonna be way more artistic, way more advanced than painter number two because he focused on it. And painter number two probably was on his phone doing bullshit while he was painting, you feel me? So focus multiplies whatever you're doing. Whatever you focus on, it grows. Whatever your focus is, it grows, right? So this can be found anywhere. Think of your life, man. Think whenever something happened in your life where it just exploded, just think about how much focus you had on it, right? So the reason I'm saying this cheat code, the reason why I'm making a whole video about this is because of this. I got the cheat code to this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Y'all probably don't know. A lot of people probably do, bro. But I feel like the cheat code to this shit is to make your life as boring as possible, as bland as possible before you got to do the hardest thing, bro. Why do I say this? Okay, cool. Y'all probably heard of the chemical, the neural neutron called dopamine, you feel me? Kind of a nerd when it comes to this shit a little bit, but let's talk about dopamine, bro. Dopamine is basically your inner self that's happy when something happens. It's like a hit, like a drug, you feel me? When you do something fun, you get that hit, that rush, that adrenaline rush, you feel me? So that's dopamine, right? So when you do boring shit, aka the shit you supposed to do, like doing your homework or working on your business, is low, is real low in dopamine. But when you doing like bad shit, I should say, or like shit it's very fun. We're gonna say shit is very fun because it's good shit that's very high in dopamine. So say you're doing something very fun, like partying or talking to girls or watching a great YouTube video with a lot of edits or listening to music that's very high in dopamine. So it's easier to do these tasks, and the low dopamine stuff is very hard, right? So the cheat code is to kind of trick your dopamine, bro. And when I say trick your dopamine, I kind of mean it in a way like those low dopamine motherfuckers, the shit that you supposed to do, we gon' make these feel like they high. In order to do this, you gotta take the actually high shit and just cut the motherfuckers out. So music, smoking, drinking, partying, sounds crazy, but if you don't do none of that shit and do the low shit gonna be low at first, but that's gonna be your new normal, right? So in my life, how I do it is this, and I want you to do this too. I'm gonna give y'all an assignment at the end. So in my life, like when I wake up, I try not to scroll Instagram. When I wake up, I don't do no YouTube watching. When I wake up, I ain't listening to no music. When I wake up, I'm doing all the shit that's like mundane. You know what I'm saying? When I'm working out, let's listen to a podcast. When I'm driving in the car, I don't want to listen to no music. You know what I mean? People be asking me, a lot of people used to ask me like, why you don't listen to music? Why you don't do this? Why you don't do that? And it's crazy because it wasn't even for this reason. It's looked at as hard shit because it's really not hard, bro. You know what I'm saying? We just making it hard because of all this shit pulling at our attention. All of this Instagram, all of this Twitter. Some motherfuckers be on Pornhub. If y'all watching porn, bro, get off that shit. Like, this not even the channel where I'm about to talk about that shit because like, I'm talking about shit I go through, my experiences. I ain't watched no shit like that in a long time. So if you watching that, please get off that shit. That shit probably doing 30 million more times worse than Instagram. But nowadays, bro, I'm ranting at this point. Nowadays, Instagram is porn, bro. Instagram a big ass dating site. Girls ain't got no clothes on that motherfucker, bro. So that shit just fucking you up, you feel me? Because you looking at that shit, and that shit just such hot rushes of dopamine that when you go to sit down and read a book, you can't. You know what I'm saying? When you go and sit down and try to focus on some work, you can't. How can you focus? You just had ass in your face. You know what I mean? So cut all that shit out the first thing when you wake up. And I guarantee you, everything gonna get easier. You ain't gonna need, damn, I need the motivation, discipline to do this shit. Nigga, the shit is gonna be fun as fuck when you do it. Cause you ain't got all that extra shit on your mind. When you wake up, you got so much creative energy and so much creativity in you. And you burning that shit, you blowing that shit on Instagram, on hoes on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? That you don't even know for real, you feel me? So, cut all that shit out. And I keep saying Instagram because, you know what I'm saying? I got Instagram, you feel me? I watch Instagram and shit like that, but that shit ain't it. If you go on my Instagram right now, it's gonna be a blocker. My rule to myself is I'm only on Instagram to work. You feel me? So if I ain't working, if I ain't getting motivation, if I ain't getting inspiration on Instagram, I don't even want to be on it for real. So cut that shit out in the morning, man. Do your hardest task. And yeah, that's my advice to y'all. Let me know what y'all think about that.